For this episode's trivia, we'll be looking at Shutter Island. This psychological thriller was directed by legendary filmmaker Martin Scorsese, and when it was released it became his highest-grossing picture to date, although it was later surpassed by The Wolf of Wall Street. Speaking of which, Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese were actually already working on that film, but as they'd been having trouble getting it financed, decided to go for Shutter Island in the meantime. To get his cast in the right mood and to show them how he wanted the movie to look and feel, Marty made the actors watch the classics Out of the Past and Vertigo.
It's a great reference point, and it's something that he brings into the filmmaking process as well. We watch screenings of old films to get tones and themes and attitudes of the characters and looks of a film, and when we have that kind of stuff, it's something he refers back to throughout the course of the movie. Remember that scene, remember the look of that, remember the way he acted, this is the attitude that I want, this is the style that I want to bring into the film. So it is like a film course, like an education every time you step on a Martin Scorsese set.
Shutter Island tells the story of a police officer, played by DiCaprio, who's sent to an island inhabited by the criminally insane. It's up to him to find a missing person. When he gets there, though, the line between reality and illusion quickly begins to blur.
And this certainly was one of the more emotionally complex characters I've ever had to say. It's almost like the whole story is a fragment of his own mind. Shutter Island encapsulates a lot about who he is. And here he is doing detective work and uncovering piece by piece his own trauma, his own past, his own dreams, and they all sort of mix together.
The movie is very cleverly written, and audiences are in for a psychological roller coaster. Just when you think you've figured it out, something completely bizarre occurs, making you rethink everything you've seen so far. This causes the 1950s setting to almost be overlooked, but actually, it's a pivotal plot point.
It's also a turning point in the way they treated mental illness, and that was very indicative of this time period. I mean, they had shock therapy and lobotomies and all these barbaric ways of treating patients, and all these things would not be quite what they were on Shutter Island if it wasn't set in the 1950s.
Out of the 5 films Scorsese and DiCaprio have made, Shutter Island is the only one to not receive any Oscar nominations, even though it was well loved by movie fans. Still, it made a very healthy profit, scooping in almost $300 million.
Okay, it's a cut. Preferred.